Welcome to Lost Girl Therapy. Today we are talking about what it means to receive love when you are unwilling or unable to. And we are talking about it in the context of a personal story. So back in 2021, I had just moved to Boston and everything was going great in my life. I had opportunities flowing in left and right, and I was really happy. And then within 2 weeks of all of this stuff beginning, I basically started experiencing a ton of very abnormal physical symptoms. Prior to this, I had been perfectly healthy. And when I started experiencing the physical symptoms, I didn't really know what to do with them, so I just kind of ignored them. I had extreme fatigue, brain fog, sensitivity to light, sensitivity to sound. I would get nauseous when I would ride the T, like the vibrations of the train would just make me feel sick to my stomach. And I started losing vision in my left eye, sporadically. So it would go out for a few seconds, and then it would come back. And I basically just said, all of this is just gonna run its course. I got checked for COVID, I got checked for the flu, and I was objectively fine. And I ignored all of the signs that something was wrong because I didn't want to challenge all of my happiness. The happiness felt so fragile and so at risk of being lost that I didn't want to introduce something that could actually decimate it, which is ironic because that's exactly what I did. I decimated my own happiness because of the fear that I held about these health problems. Over the course of a few months, and I'm condensing the story a lot, but over the course of October of 21 through January of 22, I basically got diagnosed with migraines. And I was really in this space of heightened anxiety and heightened helplessness, but I refused help. So everyone offered me help, but I didn't want it. One day I had to go to the ER, and I didn't even tell my boyfriend, I didn't tell my parents, I told no one until I was in hour 3 of being at the ER. And it was because I didn't want to admit fear. And I didn't want to show weakness. I thought that I was being strong by saying I can handle this on my own. But when you handle things on your own and you block love and you block care, you become so hyper-focused, or in my case I did. I became so hyper-focused on just surviving that I refused to accept that other people could help me thrive. And so over the course of these months, what began to happen is I just became unraveled. I was so anxious. I was always hypervigilant. I was waiting for that next migraine episode to come up. I started having anxiety attacks. I was in this constant state of fear. And I didn't know how to get myself out of it. And when I finally graduated, I had this summer where I basically was nursed back to health by my family. And so I came out of the anxious state. But it was not because I chose to come out of it. It's literally because I was so weak and so physically unable to take care of myself. I had gone to the extreme that I had no choice but to let others in to take care of me. I had spent January to May of 22 fighting tooth and nail for survival. And so when May happened and I was basically just a shell of a human being, I had no more fight left in me.